Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I probably won't be going to New York
Right.
anytime soon.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that.
Yeah, I was. I mean, it was cool. Like I said, Chicago was really nice, though. I really enjoyed the different neighborhoods in Chicago. It wasn't as diverse as New York, obviously.
Right.
But every time, because I went to the Chicago trip and then I went to New York right after. So when I was telling people in Chicago, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be going to New York. Everybody's like, oh, Chicago's like a smaller, cleaner version of New York, which it was. It was just
I could see that.
it was more enjoyable for my taste, for my speed of life.
Yeah.
The Chinatowns were cool. Wrigleyville was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Spot to hang out
Yeah,
at.
Wrigleyville, that area is really cool.
It was real cool, man. Real cool. And the people in general were just pretty nice in general.
Right.
All the staples, So like, and this is what I tell people. I went to Manhattan to have Ray's Famous Pizza, and it was the nastiest piece of shit pizza I've ever had in my life. Dude, that shit was fucking disgusting. That shit was so disgusting, dude. I was like, and I think I paid like $6 for that slice or something.
Yeah.
It was fucking nasty.
Something
But then
wrong with
you
this
went to
famous pizza.
Chicago and you had the Chicago dogs, which were fucking amazing.
Right.
The Italian beefs.
Yeah.
Over from Al's, that was fucking awesome.
The deep dish,
the deep dish from Giordani's
is delicious.
was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And then just everything else that I had over there was good.
Yeah, there's tons of good restaurants.
I did have some good food that I ate over in New York. But just the overall experience, getting from neighborhood to neighborhood, restaurant to restaurant, the subways, the traffic, the I didn't take the cabs, but the Ubers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All cool, but just not something not my style.
Yeah,
For too long. You do that shit for 2 days or so.
Yeah.
Like I'll go down there for an event, and then I'll take the subway just for the experience. But after like day 4, I was like, fuck me, get me the fuck out of here. Hey, Orlando, what's up, buddy? All right, so let's get started here. So today, it's just going to be me. CashFlow Kris has an event that he's doing over with his entrepreneur organization. So I got my good buddy, Pat Petrini, over here.
What's up, everybody?
And then I got Darius over there. I don't know if they can see that. Is that fucking bright as fuck? Yeah, you can't even see it, right? So anyway, we're going to, before we get started talking on our topic, we're going to be talking about systemization. So we're going to be talking about business systems. And one of the main reasons we're going to be talking about business systems is because both Pat and myself like to travel.
Yep.
So we just came back from Haiti. So we're actually going to go talk a little bit about just our experience in Haiti and how that was before we get into today's topic. So, hey, Nate, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. So, Pat. First of all, I want to thank you for coming out to Haiti with me.
Oh, dude. Thank you for letting me know about it. It was awesome.
Well, and the reason why I say thank you is because a lot of people are like, hey, man, let me know when, just like everybody's hit you up on your fucking Facebook and every other post. Hey, let us know when this is happening. And then you let them know and crickets, you don't hear shit.
Right.
Fuck, you couldn't even get a fucking $10 donation to help us ship the bags out there. But people are like, oh, no, let us do. And then when you put it out there, they don't.
Right.
So, thank you for coming out. And thank you for bringing Jason, who turned out to be like vital for the chicken coop that he made.
He's our foreman. He designed this whole really solid chicken coop. Best chicken coop I've ever seen.
So, look, hey Jason, what's up, buddy? Look, so Nathan over here, he's searching for gold. I got a property that I'm buying over here in Sunny Slope. It's a hoarder house on the outside.
Okay.
It's a hoarder house in relations to it's got this big old fucking yard, a huge lot, a shitty tiny house, and just a big old lot full of crap,
Yeah.
So the owner had gone in there and he was taking out his own stuff or whatever. Hey Chris, how's it going, buddy?
Hey Chris.
So the owner's out there, and he was like, hey, man, I want to take out some of my stuff before we go. So I talked to him, and I actually ended up, I have somebody that's going to scrap all that shit for me, so we don't have to get a dumpster or anything for it.
Right.
And this person wants it all. They're going to take it all. So the owner said, yeah, I'm good to go, but he told the wholesaler, I need you to go over there, and I need you to check to see if I make sure I didn't leave no gold behind. So he's out there looking for gold at this point.
Nice. Digging through everything back there, huh?
Oh, that's freaking hilarious. Who is this? Oh, this was AZ Flip guy, so I'm assuming that was CashFlow Kris saying that he couldn't make it. Sorry. Well, it's all good, man. You got to do what you got to do. But that's the great thing about technology is that it allows us to do it. We don't both have to be here, but that's part
right.
of part of where we were at with the Haiti trip. So, like I said, first and foremost, just wanted to thank you for coming out. That was freaking awesome. Why don't you share with us your experience? I mean, what did you think about? So actually, before we do that, we ended up going to Haiti. Just in case you guys don't know, we went there to help out an orphanage.
Right.
So it's an organization called Children's First, and this guy Scott Dealey. Yeah. So Scott had actually started an orphanage over in Haiti, and then he put it out there to some of his people in his mastermind group, the Collective Genius Mastermind Group.
Yep.
And then he put it out there, and he said, "Hey, man, this is what we're doing." And then one of my friends put it on Facebook, and then that's how I knew about it. And then I put it on, and then that's how he came. So
right.
Anyway, that's what we went. We went specifically to help out an orphanage. Hey, Darius, see right here, right here. So. Anyway, we went out to help out an orphanage, and anyway, so you can share your experience on that.
Yeah. So we were with this orphanage. There are kind of three main things we were doing with them. One was building this chicken coop so that they would have enough chickens not only to feed
RJ,
kids,
what's up, buddy?
But oh hey, what's up, RJ?
Nice. RJ was another guy who went with us. So yeah. RJ is my friend Dave Payerchin's business partner down over in Cincinnati. Lee, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining us. But yeah, so RJ went with us, and I knew RJ before. I met him once or twice, but it was your first time meeting him.
I had just met RJ. RJ was one of a whole group of really incredible people that we were down there with. So we were building the chicken coop so that there's enough eggs so that they can feed the kids and that they can hopefully sell them for some extra income for the orphanage. Two was that our group was helping to build the security wall, helping to finish the security wall around the orphanage. And then the third one was playing with the kids, connecting with them, all that kind of stuff. Just being there and showing them love and that whole thing for while we were there. So everybody kind of was in a few different groups. I was mostly doing the chicken coop and then doing a little bit of the security wall stuff. And but it was amazing to one was just to see, like, I had thrown a post up on Facebook that there's everywhere on the island is a severe need of food, clothing, and shelter. Hey, Jeffrey. And so food, clothing, and shelter, like the poverty is kind of the obvious part. Yeah. But the thing that really got you about being around the kids and seeing these kids is like. Like you had mentioned when we were wrapping up that night, how they just wanted to touch you every time that we walked in. They even just wanted some touch. They wanted to shake our hands, wanted to hug, whatever. And you had spent a lot of time with the kids. Some members of our group were spending a lot of time with the kids, and you guys were. Some of the kids would crawl up into one of our group members' laps and just wrap their arms around them and fall asleep for 4 hours, and you just can imagine that they don't get a lot of that security, a lot of that, sense of love and
in the orphanage there, if I remember correctly, it was like 15, 20 kids that were there total, right?
Yeah.
Then there's two ladies that are like the moms.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the lady Sheila, who was the older one, and then you have Wiesling, who was the younger one. But they were the two ladies of the house. They were both very nice, giving ladies.
Totally, and fully dedicated.
Exactly.
There's just two of them.
But there's only two of them.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, and what can you do? Every kid needs a certain amount of attention, and then obviously you have your smaller ones that need more attention.
Right.
If I remember correctly, there was like two kids that were in age of diapers. I don't think they had diapers, but they were around that age where they could have worn diapers. One of them pissed on my leg, which was awesome when I was like carrying him. But whatever, it's that's what was going to happen. So I did. You did spend most of the time. So he brought his buddy Jason, who was also a business partner of his, and I've met Jason before on some real estate stuff. But he brought him out there, and Jason was really kind of like in charge of building this chicken coop.
Yeah.
I guess he reached out to Scott and said, "Hey man, I'm going to take the reins on this," and kind of took it upon himself to do this chicken coop. And then you guys didn't do a regular chicken coop, man. You guys had to go balls to the wall.
Right.
It was like a mega chicken mansion that you guys did.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
By the end of the day, by the end of the trip, we were all calling it the Coupe de Ville, right? Because that thing was freaking massive. So how many chickens was this going to hold?
It'll hold 20 to 30, hold 30 chickens, basically, so.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it'll be plenty of food.
And then, if I remember correctly, because I've never raised chickens, I didn't know, but they said they're going to drop about 2 eggs a day, 2-3 eggs a day.
Yeah, I guess about 1 to 2,
nice.
1 to 3, somewhere in there that I'm not totally familiar, but something
That's
like
freaking
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, there's only 15 kids. You got the 2 ladies there. They had the 2 full-time security guards, and then the guy Enoch. So Enoch was Scott's point of contact over in Haiti, who was the guy who also runs the orphanage. So he's the one who oversees everything.
Like also like a minister down there or something like that.
I don't remember exactly.
I think he works for the church or something.
I don't know exactly how that was all structured wise. I just know that Enoch was his point of contact and was the guy running the orphanage basically.
Right.
So he was the one doing all the hiring and firing. He was the one making sure that everything, all the food and all the other stuff was taken care of.
Right.
So yeah, Enoch definitely a great guy, but there's not that many people on there, so. Let me see. Flipping chicken coops. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, my dude, we pimped this one out, bro.
Yeah.
Might as well flip it. This has got to be the baddest ass chicken coop.
Doors on the back that open up for the ramp going down, and there's, a little handle or little ropes on the front so you can open the doors from the back, and the whole little system. It's pretty
little trap doors. That was pretty awesome. So yeah, it was a good experience to go there. I know you, like I said, you got a chance to mainly focus on the chicken coop, and that's kind of was your guys' mission. We had the other group of people that was doing the fucking hard job, which was going up. So RJ was one of those.
Yeah,
RJ was one of those people.
Cement.
Also, Wholesome Cement. My buddy Dave, that one girl Heather, a few other guys that were going up and down, just killing it, man, putting it on their back. And what was crazy, and I think you guys experienced too, that while you were out there working, there was still kids that just wanted to hang around. That even if they weren't helping, even they weren't pretending to help, they just wanted to hang around.
Yeah.
And then I saw some pictures of some people, and then I know the girl Heather told me this that happened to her, but it was like she was calling this fucking big old jug of water, like 50-pound things of water, and then she had a kid hanging from the other arm.
Right.
They just wanted to hang on to them. The other guy had a oh my god, I forget his name. I'm so upset that I forget his name. But anyway, he was there with his wife, and there was kids literally hanging onto his legs as he's hiking a very steep hill.
Yeah.
With fucking big old pounds of cement or water to take it up there to get the guys to finish it. So these kids just wanted to be interacted with, and it was just a very, very cool experience to go over there. Me on my side, like I said, I got to kind of spend more time building what I do, which is building relationships with people, kind of interacting with kids, interacting with the ladies that work there, and just kind of getting to know them more on a personal basis. And that was cool because, as you said, I may have not got the physically hard job, but I definitely got the emotionally hard job.
And I mean, what's more important than than what you guys are doing is it is the emotionally difficult one, but
so
also
we
so
had
important.
We had quite a bit of ladies that went on the trip. A lot of the guys that came brought their wives, so I think it was like maybe 5 different women that were on the trip there. And a lot of the ladies, took it upon themselves to help us with the sorting. So we had a lot of we ourselves raised 12 bags here in Phoenix.
Yeah, you guys did such a killer job.
That was kick ass, man. That was kick ass. Had we got the news involved, that's what I wanted to. I'm so glad that didn't happen because
it would have been logistical.
Dude, that would have been fucking a nightmare.
It would have been crazy.
Fuck.
Yeah,
dude, just getting the 12 pieces of luggage over there. Hey, Pam, thank you for joining us. Just getting the 12 pieces of luggage were just fucking insane. That was insane.
These guys jumped through so many hoops and everything to get this luggage down of all the toys that they collected from the school that donated, which was awesome. And the news almost showed up, and that would have blown it.
That would have blown it away. That would have been real fucking crazy. But we did have this type of scenario where, you know, we had a lot of the women kind of there helping us sort out, or we're just playing with the kids initially. You know, the first day we went, we kind of gave everybody some toys, and we kind of just played with them. The second day that we went, everybody was kind of more on their jobs and kind of getting everything situated. So yeah, it was real cool. The first day that we were there, the full day, I was walking around and I hear my friend Casey, and he's sitting in there. Hey, Ernest, how you doing, buddy? He was sitting in the kitchen area. So they had the orphanage over here, and they had the kitchen area over here, which is a separate building.
Right.
Literally, all it was just a prep table, a little sink area thing that I don't think they actually had any type of running water per se. So they just kind of filled up the buckets. And then they had a stove that was powered by like a propane tank. So they were just kind of there doing their stuff, and we got to sit there and talk to the ladies, and it was great because we didn't speak the language.
Right.
And that was one of the first things that I was excited about. Israel, thank you for joining us, buddy. That was one of the things that I was really excited about, was going to a country where I wasn't able to speak the language.
Yeah.
You know, everywhere that I went, Guatemala, Mexico, everywhere else that I've been to, I can speak the local language, or at least get by. But
sure.
I don't know fucking French, especially Creole French, which is a whole different thing.
Right.
You know, one of the ladies in our group actually knew a little bit of French, but she was still having a hard time conversating because it's
still a totally different
It's a different thing. So yeah, I got a chance to conversate with the ladies, and you know, they made this meal, which was grits, beans, chicken bouillon, a little bit of salt, and that was it.
Yeah. So that was it as far as spices, right? Was salt? Do you remember?
I don't think there was any more spices. I know the second day when they made the rice, they had like this little pepper thing that they threw on it. It was like this little green, tiny looking pepper thing. I don't remember what exactly the name of the pepper was, but it was pretty good. Was that learn fucking French? So I did learn a few words in Creole French, which was cool because it allowed us to conversate. Like it allowed us to kind of get this stuff going. So I learned belle, which is beautiful. Très belle, which is very beautiful. Ou belle, which is handsome. I learned merci, which is thank you. Pare quoi, which is you're welcome.
Okay.
Dilien, which is the proper way to say you're welcome, which is how you you would say it to a lady. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the funny shit. So I was talking with Enoch there, and I'm like, dude, why is it that you know, every time I say pare quoi to the lady here, she rolls her fucking eyes at me, and she's like, oh, it's because the ladies like it when you say it dilien because it sounds more fucking French. So he's like, it doesn't matter, but they just take it the wrong way. So I was like, that's fucking stupid. So funny. They like it because it sounds more fucking French. Bonjour.
That's really funny.
So anyway, man, it was a great experience. You know, we got a chance to do what we did. We got a chance to build the wall. We got a chance to build the chicken coop. I got a chance to hang out with the kids. We all took them swimming the last day while you guys stayed and did the chicken coops, which was real cool. Their expressions on their face were amazing. None of them had ever been. No, we asked them. And actually, the biggest one, Schneider, you know, the girl, who was the little boss, she was running everything, man. She was like, not an adult, but right there. So I think she was like 13, 12, and she had never been to the thing. So we took them. They were just ecstatic, man. They were happy. But having to drop them off was one of the hardest things. And by that time, you guys had already gone. Right. So you guys had finished the chicken coop because it was hot. It was hot as fuck out there.
Yeah, it was. We lost our man Jason the first day because he was just working all day and
refusing to take breaks, refusing to drink water.
You know, but the heat and the humidity. I mean, you're just dripping sweat, you know, all day and. So he came down with pretty severe dehydration. Oh yeah, he was not in a good place.
So you guys were staying on the room next to me and Casey, right? And Casey comes out to me. He's like, "Dude, I don't think fucking Jason's all right." And I'm like, "Why?" I could just hear him through the walls. Kill me now.
Oh, that's so funny. We were sharing walls with these guys, and Jay was getting these full body cramps where just, you know, involuntarily, I had never seen dehydration like that, where involuntarily he would just freeze up and like lock up, and it'd be very painful. And Wait, he had a bad 4 to 6 hours in there.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. But like I said, the whole experience itself was just amazing. Being able to give back was amazing, and it really made you appreciate everything that you do. Mm-hmm. However, I want to get into the topic of what we're going to be talking about today, and that is systems.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up, and the reason why I wanted to put this together was the systems is what allowed us to be able to travel to Haiti.
Yeah.
We basically took about a week off from work. I know that I spent an extra day in Miami beforehand, and I spent an extra day in Miami after the fact. And then we were there, 4 days, 5 days, because my flight didn't leave till later on.
Yep.
So I basically took a week off. You took almost a week off to go to this. And a lot of times people are like, hey man, I wish I could do what you guys do. I wish we could take off, if I didn't have to work, if I didn't have these bills, if I didn't have what was going on. So a lot of that has to do with systems. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you about systems is because you've had a lot of different business systems that you've created throughout the years. And not all of them have been related to real estate. Some of them have been related to real estate, but you had a lot of business systems. And so I've told you in person before, I'll tell it to you guys here, but I envy Pat in relations to the amount of traveling that he does. I mean, a lot of say, hey, Brian, you guys travel a lot. I don't nearly travel as much as Pat. This motherfucker's never here.
You've been all lately. I find myself getting on social media and I see, I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta do for a trip.
I gotta do for a trip. But a lot of this came when I first met Pat. He had hired me. He was doing some real estate. I had my bandit sign company, and then he was, he was like, hey man, I'm doing these things, and I connected with him online, and I would see him. He was always traveling, he was always backpacking here, he was always just getting on the truck with his wife and going down to Mexico or doing something like that. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I could do that. I have to work. I have to do this. And then when I started wholesaling, I was like, fuck man, I wish I could do that, but I have to work. I have to do this.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to talk before we get into specifics. Just your general take on systems, business systems, the benefit of having a business system, whatever.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I think the importance that for me that what always has driven me to be sort of more system oriented is just to be able to do exactly what BP is talking about. So the importance of systems is so that you can step away from your business and the system will run, so that you are your business isn't you. And that's where for most people that are like self-employed, and we all kind of go through different stages of this, but if you have no systems in place, then you are the business, and that's not really freedom there, because you got to be at every appointment, you got to be doing every aspect of it, you got to be doing the accounting, you got to be doing all that kind of stuff. You may be self-employed, but if it's all you doing everything, you just got your own job. So you got to set up systems in place so that things can kind of operate without you, and that might be automation systems. It might be hiring people that are whether they're actual hires or they're virtual assistants or whatever that are helping to implement your systems for you. But the more that you can systematize things, the more it allows you to kind of step out of it. I was just going to say I just got a recent dose of needing to have systems, because about 9 months ago my wife and I had our firstborn, and it became very apparent after a couple months of me trying to keep everything going at the same level of what I was holding on, all the things that I was doing. I was like, this is stupid. I need to hire some assistants. I need it was like it helped me kind of jump to kind of another level recently, because when you have that lack of time, that's how you fix it.
I think we had this conversation, right? Because I'm telling you, getting the assistants has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. Yeah. So every time I meet a business owner who's got this,
done it a long time ago.
I'm sure we had this conversation when we went out for breakfast that one time about getting some fucking assistants in place.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the systems itself allows you to run your business with a lot less effort. It allows you to run your business a lot more predictably. It allows you to travel a lot more, get up and leave. And it allows you to leave and come back to more money.
Right.
Which is fucking awesome.
Right.
You know, that's the one problem that most people have when traveling in general. And I'm using the example of traveling because a lot of people like traveling.
Yeah.
You know, if there's one thing that a lot of people have in general have in common is that they would like to travel more.
Yeah, that's got to be the number one answer to the question, what would you do if you had more money?
Exactly. Right? If you didn't have to worry about any money, if you didn't have to work, if you could have enough money to do whatever the fuck you wanted to do, what's the one thing that you would like to do? And pretty much everybody's answer is travel.
Right.
At least everybody that I know of. There's a few people that say maybe a few different things, collecting cars or whatever, but traveling is probably the top priority for most people. And traveling is one of those things that even if you've never done it, you want to do it. Even if you've done it once, you want to do it again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
Especially if you do it right. Not go stay at a fucking resort somewhere and just hang out there, but actually go out and explore.
Really see the community.
Get to see the community, get to interact with the people.
Yeah.
But business systems allows you to do that. Now there's that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and Robert Kiyosaki goes over the cash flow quadrant.
Right.
That's something that my mentor Jeff Fagan is always talking about on our Tuesday morning meetings, and he's talking about. He got the left side of the quadrant, which is your entrepreneur and your self-employed, and then you got your right side of the quadrant, which is your business owner and your investor.
Right.
Most people are stuck on this side, which is your left side. Most people that are in real estate are on the self-employed side.
Right.
Meaning that they have to do everything. They're the ones that have to hustle and bustle to get the deals. They're the ones that are taking all the phone calls. They're the ones that are setting up all the appointments. They're the ones that have to me, right? And in a different training that I went, a business finishing school, the guy that runs that refers to it as a Superman syndrome. You know, everything's got to be me. It's got to have my name on it and stuff.
Right.
However, the problem with that, and this is somebody else said it, but if you're the main cog in the wheel, then you're going to be the main clog in the wheel, because everything has to run through you, and eventually you have a limited. Hey Jeff, how you doing? Thank you. I was just giving out some of your lessons here that you talk about in our Tuesday morning meetings with our buddy Pat.
I was just at Tuesday morning.
I know, my brother told me.
Oh yeah, okay.
Bro, like I said, I stayed the extra day in there,
right.
so
it
kind of messed me from not coming there. But if you're the main cog in the wheel, then you're going to be the main clog, meaning that eventually, if everything has to run through you, you only have a set amount of time. You only have a set amount of energy. You only have a set amount of patience. You only have a set amount of desire, will, whatever you choose to put there, to put into anything. If you have the one side here, which is your business life, and then you have your personal life, and then you have your spiritual life, and you can't be all right here, because eventually you're going to burn yourself out.
Yeah.
This part of your life is going to suffer. This other part of your life is going to suffer. And business systems allows you to do that. Now, as my mentor Jeff, who just joined us here, as he says all the time, the difference between being an S and a B, the difference between being self-employed and being business owners, is having business systems.
Right.
You're not a business owner if you don't have a business system. You're not a business owner just because your business has your name on it, just because your LLC has your name on it, just because you're a sole proprietor, just because all the money that comes in comes out. You don't have a business. You have a job. You created yourself a job.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people in real estate do. So, specifically talking about real estate, I know that you've created a few things with your real estate career. Now, I know that on your part of it, you focus and done some online coaching for real estate flips or wholesaling or something along those lines.
Yep.
You've also done some other stuff with your affiliate marketing and other things. And then you've also done some flips with Jason. So being that we're talking about the AZ Flip guys and we're talking about specifically real estate, just walk me through the system side on your properties. So how you and Jason have a system, or how you guys do that. And then when you created your online business and you did your coaching program, just kind of a quick overview on how your system worked. And allowed it to work, without you having to be there or minimally.
Absolutely. So on the flipping side, the way that it worked is, and I got into real estate just looking for passive income, just for wanting to find rentals. And in the process of scouring the market, looking for rentals, we were finding more flips than we were finding good rentals. So we still try to pick up rentals, but most of them ended up being flips. So in doing that, the kind of system we have set up, I partner with Jason, that guy that we've mentioned a couple times. And Jason really was kind of my mentor in getting started in real estate. Because when my wife and I were at a tough spot, financially, we lost everything in the last crash, and we were just looking for something, and we knew some people in real estate, and decided that we thought we could learn something there. So anyway, the way we do it is I'm basically in charge of like marketing, lead generation, finding the deals, and that's kind of become what I'm good at in real estate. So I go and find the deals. I get them under contract. I'm doing some wholesaling now myself, so sometimes I'll just wholesale them at that point. But if it's one we're going to flip, then I've got some private money guys. I have them fund it. I purchase it, and then I basically hand it over to Jason. Jay's got his whole crew that runs our rehabs full time, and so he runs the rehab. And then he's a broker, so he handles the flip, and then handles the sale, and then we just generally cut it straight down the middle. And so, for me, that's the part that I like to have, because I'm happy giving away a big chunk of the profit to work with somebody. That, to me, that's kind of like my system. Is I would rather give away a big chunk of the profit and give up those aspects of it, because that allows me to not have to be here. I can do the lead generation and quite a bit of all the finding the deals from anywhere that we happen to be, from if we're traveling or whatever.
Exactly. Hey, Jesse, Powerhouse is in the building here. So with that being said, I'm kind of focused on the same thing myself, where my focus is on finding the deals and funding the deals. And at this point, I've actually eliminated finding the deals myself. I partnered up with a few different local wholesalers where we're coming, we got strict connections, and we do it that way. But my system has started on that end. And I know that a lot of times when you meet other investors or people that watch the TV shows or stuff like that, dude, we had from the AZ Flip guys, man, we had a fucking lady, and I'm not gonna say her name, but she messaged us and said, hey, I represent this network. We're looking for first-time flippers who are going to be doing work themselves on the property. And I'm like, dude, what a fucking idiot! Like, that's the stupidest fucking thing to do, right?
Right.
But that's the shit that they're promoting.
Right.
So whatever. To be quite honest, I made the same mistake on my very first flip too, because I thought I needed to fucking do that.
Yeah.
But I learned very quickly that my primary job should be finding the properties and finding the money. And through my relationships and how I've been able to leverage those, I've been able to keep on finding properties. And then my primary source right now that I have to focus on more is just finding more money.
Right.
To continue the deals and be able to do more deals. But just like you, I've had people say, hey, Mo, why don't you manage your own projects? Or, what type of tile do you use? Or what backsplash do you... Fuck do I know? I don't know. Yeah, what color did you paint that house? I don't know.
No idea.
And the thing about it is that I would rather partner up with people to do... So I have two ways that I partner up myself. Is I have my contractor. So I don't pay him a portion of the profit, but I do pay him... I do pay him... every single property that he manages. So obviously he's making an override on the material and on the work, and then he makes a little bit of profit for managing the project. So
right.
He gets paid out on that end. I know that I'm paying out a little bit there, and then I partner up with individuals that come in either like money lenders or stuff like that. And recently I've gone to the point where I'm partnering up with people more on a deal by deal basis, where they're coming in and they're helping me with the rehab, but they take care of all the hard money payments and all the other utilities and everything else that is kind of ticking off, so that I don't have to worry about those monthly things coming out.
Right.
Because the one thing that I said all the time, the worst thing about doing fucking 10 flips at one time is 10 hard money payments at one time. But you got to cut that fucking $15,000 check on a month.
Right.
Fuck me.
Gotta start keeping some money in the bank for those.
I'm giving away profits. And that's the one thing that you said, and I think that's one thing that holds most people back on their creating systems is, well, I don't want to give up my profits. I want to maximize my profits. I don't want to pay an assistant.
Right.
That means that I got to pay somebody. I don't want to, I don't want to hire a GC. I want to manage my own projects. I want to go find my own material because, I'm going to save some money. I'm going to save some money. And you have to invest in your business to be able to get this to creative, because at the end of the day, what ends up happening is that the reward is so much greater than the risk when it comes to creating the systems.
Yep.
Because once you have a system that creates for you, then like I said, you're able to hang out with your wife and your kid. And weren't you guys like sailing for a few months there? You went sailing for 3 months or something shit like that, right?
We were traveling for 3 months. We just recently started getting into sailing, so we've been doing some sailing. We've got some big plans that we want to do with sailing. But yeah, we love taking the long vacations. You know, we love going like disappearing for a month or 3 months and like really kind of getting in and seeing what the
so the time that I remember that I was extra jealous of Pat was he went down to fucking South America.
Yeah.
And you were down like in Chile, Ecuador, somewhere around that area, right?
Ecuador and Peru, and we didn't make it out of Peru because of the
your bike accident. So this motherfucker was wearing a GoPro, and then he's riding his bike down this hill, and he ends up posting the video afterwards. But it's got like this little clip that's just like
it like takes a picture like every
Simon
5
from Haiti
seconds
messaging me.
Oh, nice. It's every picture like every 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever, so it creates a little time lapse of like the bike ride.
So you see him going, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, clunk, 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 clunk.
Legs in the air,
and then fucking back of ambulance and shit.
Yeah.
But you were gone for 3. You were gone for 3 weeks,
right?
Right?
Three. Well, let's see. South America.
No, 3 months.
3 months.
We
were gone for 2.5, 3 months.
Nice. So yeah, at that point I was like, man, what is he doing? You know, what's something that he's doing that I can emulate because I want that same type of lifestyle. And you know, with Pat, he's very similar to I am when it comes to traveling. We don't do the fancy hotels. We don't do the fancy resorts. We don't need to have all the luxuries. We don't need to have all the stuff. We can rough it as much as possible. And then Pat's lucky he's got a woman that's willing to rough it as well, too. So she's not... Because that's the thing is that you get a lot of guys that are like, oh, fuck it, I'll go camping. And the chick's like, oh, no, hell no, I might be... I'm shitting in the bucket.
It's one of the things I love about my wife is she's as happy as in a tent as I am, and or wherever, you know, hostel, whatever. And so she's totally game for that kind of travel.
Exactly, and that allows you to have these experiences, and creating a system allows you to be able to go away for X amount of months. You know, so the longest I've been away for my business has been 3 weeks, and I definitely want to up that a little bit more.
Yeah,
but it's been for the particular reason. You know, I remember when I was in Guatemala, I was doing everything. I mean, I basically didn't have to do anything. The only things that we needed, I was able to like DocuSign or something over the phone. So whenever I got a little bit of internet, I just, oh shit, let me check my emails. Okay, well, we DocuSign it right there. Boom, I'm off back to exploring. I'm off back to that's what I would like to do.
And that's what, it's great because it can be that you can still be working while you're gone, but it might just be you pop into an internet cafe for an hour, or you pop into, you know, wherever for an hour, a couple hours a day, or every couple days or whatever, and you can handle things if you got systems in place.
And I mean, I will admit that I'm not 100% systemized myself. I'm at this point, I think I'm like 95% in relations, because I still have to look at the properties. I still have to have a conversation with my contractor about, you know, what we're doing with this one. I still have to connect my investors with the property that we're doing, and then I still have to sign off at the end when we're selling. So sign the paperwork to buy it and sell it. So there's still a little bit of things that I'm doing.
I got plenty on that list to take care of as well.
But my goal is to get it to 100%. My goal is to get it to the point where I don't have to do anything. My goal is where I can train somebody to go look at the properties for me.
Right.
And then obviously somebody maybe wants to step into the shoes of an investor to be able to do that.
Right.
My goal is to find a way to systemize more relationships and find people out there with bigger, deeper pockets that might be, or whatever the fuck that is, right? That's a cough.
Excuse me.
You know, finding people out there with different investors that have different types of money that are willing to fund these, or whichever way it's going. So there's always different processes going, but even though we're not 100% systemized, you said it doesn't require a lot of work. So we're hanging out here today. We started at 12. We got 12:40 right now. He came over at 11 because I just told him let's come out an hour beforehand. I was like, hey man, how's it going? He's like, man, for today this is about all I've done.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, shit, me too. Like, this is about all I've done here for today. You know, everything's kind of going. Things are doing what they were supposed to be doing. There's really no reason for me to do anything more than what I'm doing now, unless I want to. I might have to. I got a few land deals that I have to go over, and other than that, I don't really have much to do for today other than just relax and recoup from the trip in Haiti, which is very tiresome. But the business systems is what allows you to do that. So we talked about the real estate system, and it seems like you kind of have a very similar one to me, where once you line up the deal and once you line up the money, it basically turned over to Jason at this point, and my point would be the contractor, and then my realtor at the end.
Right.
So at this point, my realtor would just call me and say, "Hey, man, we got an offer on this property here. We need you to sign off on it," and I'll DocuSign it through my phone, and bam, 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 and whatever comes on there. You know, the benzers that come about. My realtor is real good at handling that, so he already knows what I like, what I don't like. He already knows what I'm willing to. You know, my biggest thing is if it needs to be done, we'll do it. If it's something that they're just asking, then go fuck themselves.
Right.
And then I please tell them those exact words.
Please tell them that exactly.
I've only had him tell them that once to one person. Dude, this one time we had like 3 benzers on this one property. Just kept coming back. We had some issue with this electrical panel thing that we needed to redo. Finally, everything was redone. Closing had been pushed back for like probably a month and a half, just because all these different things needed to do. We needed to get a permit to get the whole electrical panel reshifted. Like, it was the way it was connecting to the wires or to the transmitter or some shit, right?
Yeah.
The day before closing, the lady calls the realtor and says, "Hey, there's this one thing here that we don't like. Can you guys change it?"
Right.
And I was like, "Please do me a favor and tell her to go fuck herself."
Yeah.
And please do me a favor and tell her those exact same words. Like, go fuck yourself. We're not doing anything. Because by this time, it had already funded, it already closed. Like, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I would have easily done it had she asked beforehand. But
it
is what it is.
You know, a lot of people don't understand the process. They don't understand like what a big pain in the butt it is that they're asking when they make those kinds of crazy requests.
But I don't deal with that.
Right.
My realtor deals with that. You know, my business system takes care of that. My business system allows me to be like, "Hey, I'm going to buy this house. I know we're going to borrow money at this amount. I know it's going to take me X amount. I know it should be around this much in repairs, give or take.
Yeah.
I know it should sell for this much, give or take.
Right.
I know it should sell in this time, give or take." All these things are calculated into it, so it allows me to then continue to do it, and then it allows that business system to be able to do that. So, in closing here, hey Jonathan, what's up, buddy? My brother here. So, in closing here, what do you want to say to people about creating a system specifically for real estate? So I would say the majority of people watching us are going to be wholesalers, investors, so people that are actually actively flipping. I think those would be the 2 main ones that would be actively watching us right now. So what is something that you would say to them in regards to business systems?
So I guess a couple things. Like, first off, what you're trying to do when you're creating systems is you're trying to take what you know how to do, because hopefully, I think that anything you're going to delegate, you need to do first. You need to like really understand it and know how to do it, so that you can properly delegate it. If it's something that requires some skill level, But anyway, so you're already good at, have acquired some skills of what you're doing, and then what you're just trying to do is you're just trying to take, like, how do you do what you do? What's the thought process that you go through for each of these phases of you making a sale or finding a deal or getting the funding or all these different steps, and you're trying to then get that down onto a specific sort of list or action plan or a series of events, and that way you can start automating and delegating those events. And by the way, there's a cool tool that we just found called Process Street, process.st, process.st, and no .com on there. But it's designed just for keeping track of your systems, so that you can. It has kind of some cool tools, and I think they have some sort of free account that you can get, and you can just track all your systems on there, because that's what then you get the systems in place, and then this is kind of like the Tim Ferriss, optimization program, as he talks about. First, you're looking at what steps can you eliminate from this system, just like get rid of completely, because they're frill, they're not really getting what you need done.
And by the way, most people spend most of their time in that one activity.
Yeah, exactly. So like, what stuff can you just eliminate because it's not bringing you the returns on your time or on the action that is that you need? What steps can you automate So whether that means, maybe you can automate them using software. Maybe you can automate certain types of follow-up issues with almost like an autoresponder email system. Maybe there's different aspects that you can automate in some way. And then the third is, what can you delegate? And then that's where you're bringing on an assistant, bringing on, a salesperson, bringing on, whatever, so that you can start passing off those things to other people. And so I think that's kind of the fundamental aspect of creating systems.
Perfect. And in relations to real estate specific systems, the biggest thing that I've noticed in my industry is everybody's got an ego, right? Yeah. And everybody's got this hard time getting their ego out of their way. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to be known. Everybody wants to be heard. And especially when you come to the world of wholesaling, you kind of have to make a name for yourself. You kind of have to find a way to do that. But finding a way to removing yourself as quick as possible from whatever activity is the best thing that I could suggest you guys. So whatever it is that you're doing, whichever it is that, whether it be talking to your particular buyers, talking to your particular sellers, taking the phone calls coming in from your marketing yourself, different things like that will allow you to expand. And one thing, without getting too out there, we're both big believers of the power of the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. We're both big believers of the power of the mind. We're both big believers of creating stuff and bringing it in energy and vibrations. As I mentioned earlier, we're limited in the amount of time, energy, vibrations, and stuff that we have in our life. And the most of the time we're spending all of our activities doing the first step, which is shit that we don't need to be doing anyway, Yep. We tend to want to do busy things that keep us busy because it makes us feel like we're fucking accomplishing something. Email, we've been busy, yeah.
Email is one of those the biggest time sucks where you feel like, oh no, I'm productive, I'm on my email, right? But yeah.
And there's a lot of activities like that, driving to the Home Depot. If you're a flipper yourself and you're driving to the Home Depot to go get some nails or some screws or something, there's a lot better use of your time to do that. Yeah. But we have this type of sense of pride that we have to do it. So if you guys can do that and remove yourself from doing that as quick as possible, I would highly, highly suggest you doing that. And take it down, as Pat said, just take it down to the bare minimums as to what it is that you need to do it. So if you're a wholesaler, you need deals coming in and you need people to buy your deals. That's really the only fucking thing. I mean, anything above and beyond that is just extras. But at the end of the day, that's all you need to focus on. So, and if you can,
sorry, keep going. I'll show a little.
If you can go ahead and start delegating those things or partnering up with people or finding other people to do it, it's gonna free up so much time and space in your mind that it's gonna allow you to come up with all these new better ideas to market, all these better ideas as to how you can sell your properties or how you can attract more sellers or whatever that may be. And that's one thing that I noticed when I started delegating.
Yeah.
The moment that I started delegating my personal bills here at home, the moment that I started delegating all my business bills, the moment that I started delegating, I delegate my dates, man, Christina, and then they set up my dates on my calendar and shit like that. Yep. Any appointments that I have with anybody is completely delegated. And then I automated stuff where it's like every Tuesday I do this, every Monday I do this, every Friday we do this.
Yep.
So it just becomes repetitive where I don't really have to think about it, right? Not having to think about it allows my mind to just create and connect with the universe, the infinite intelligence that's out there where you can just pick out whatever information you choose to if you learn how to quiet all the chatter behind it. And business systems is a great way to help you quiet that chatter.
For sure.
We're still, at the end of the day, for your business and my business and your business and your business, results are the only thing that matter. Mm-hmm. And if you work 100 hours a week and you sell one client, and if you work 2 hours a week and you sell one client, at the end of the day, we both make the same fucking amount of money.
Yep.
Right? It didn't really fucking matter. It is what it is. And what if your client likes you more because you're so chill and relaxed and I'm over here stressing because I gotta fucking get it because
Yep.
That's the bonus. That's the benefit of creating a business system. But more importantly, because it allows you to have that mental space where now you can go ahead and focus on whatever you want. You can focus on visualizing bigger and better and have the universe tell you what it is without all that extra chatter of, how much am I going to pay this month, my bills, my blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So you have something that you want to show
I was just going to show, just as an idea, this was just yesterday. I was driving, I was just drawing out our Well, you can't. That's okay. You get the idea. It's just a flow chart of like our system. And so, you know, draw it out. Like, draw out what is your process. You know, every single step of doing like what you do. Draw it out and kind of look at it, and then you can, you know, cross off the stuff you can eliminate and automate, outsource everything we've been talking about.
The best thing that I did in mine, somebody told me the peanut butter jelly technique, which I'm sure. So the peanut butter and jelly technique is, imagine that you're explaining to your son, because you got a son, right?
Okay,
how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
And you have to break it down step by step by step by step to the stupidest step. Open the drawer, pull out a knife, untie the twisty, get the fucking bread out of the bag, you know, because if you just say, hey, put the bread in the toaster, well, he hasn't opened the drawer yet, he hasn't unthinged the bag, he hasn't got the 2 pieces of bread. So you have to break it down to where it's just stupid, basic all the way down. And once you do that, then you're able to tell which one of these processes needs to be given attention to, which ones can be eliminated, and which ones can be doing there. Let me see. All right, I'm not sure what that is. So anyway, it allows you to. I forgot what the fuck I was saying.
Yeah, well, you were saying. Well, one thing I was going to add on to what you're saying is that when you have it that broken down, it also allows it. It allows you to not be terrified if you once you bring people on board, you're not going to be terrified if they leave, right? You want to hope that people come on board and are going to grow and are going to do what's best for them, right? So the people that come on board, you want to have their processes really nailed down too, so that, you know, when there's somebody coming on board after them, they can either easily train that new person, or, you know, whatever, you can easily get somebody else up and going in that place, because you already have exactly the system.
And as you expand, you're going to want to know what each person's system is. So I was going to say that the benefit of this is that you can then write it down into, I like using an outline, just a basic outline that we learned in school. You know, number one, whatever your topic is, ABC, and then from ABC subtopics from there. So if I'm like, hey, I need to find a property, right? What's my process of finding a property? Well, I do this, and that. Okay, well, in doing this, what is the process of doing that? Okay, well, in doing that. So you break it down into the most basic level possible, and it allows you to then, like I said, expand your company. So if you're a simple wholesaler, you're putting out your own bandit signs, you're putting out your own marketing, you're taking your own phone calls, you're comping your own properties, you're locking up your own deals, you're there turning around and finding your own buyers, you know, putting your own marketing to find buyers, or however you find buyers. You do all this stuff. Eventually, as you start growing, you're going to want to get other people there. So you're going to want to hire somebody to put out your bandit signs.
Right.
You're going to want to hire somebody to take the phone calls. You're going to want to hire somebody to go take the initial appointments. You may eventually want to hire somebody to sign the contracts. You may want to hire somebody to sell the properties for you, and still make money. I know people like that are successfully wholesaling a lot of deals without them ever looking at the property, without them even signing the contract. They don't even know what the fuck. That guy Antonio who went with us over at the Antonio Edwards, he's a fucking badass for that shit, man. He's such a fucking badass when it comes to that. And he was like, dude, I haven't seen the last fucking 30 properties that I bought and sold. Like, I don't know what the fuck they look like. So
he's just buying online.
And he's just doing his thing because he's got a system in place.
Exactly.
So once you break it down that way, then you know where you can put it, you know what needs to be done, you know what's important. So if you break down, you have your outline, and you're like, okay, this part I need to do myself for right now until I can train somebody, or until I can get somebody in here. Everything else can be done by an assistant. This part can be done by a virtual assistant. And I'll tell you what, I did this in the beginning of the year. We sat down in January with both my assistants, Christina and Ebony, and I basically broke down everything. So I broke down everything from our company, what we were doing, our processes, how we were going to be doing it, how everything was going to be working. And they thanked me after the meeting, and they said, thank you, because now we understand why we're doing what we're doing. So they've been working for me for months by that point. But I guess in my mind, I thought I had told them what we were doing, but obviously we don't fucking know, right? Because you think you know, and that's just the way it is. So that's a big important part of it here, guys. Freedom. Business systems equal freedom. There's no other way of saying it. Business systems equals, wanting to hang out at the fucking beach. go travel for a few months, just hang out with your girlfriend. You know, I say all the fucking time, one of my favorite things to do is to have sex on a Wednesday at like noon. Because I fucking can. Right? That's one of my favorite things to do, just because I'm like, oh man, fucking somebody's over there struggling, hump day, you know, bullshitting themselves about their week. And I'm having a good time and not worrying about that. Business systems allow you to do that. So anyway, guys, this is BP the Mentor. CashFlow Kris will be back next week. Big shout out to our special guest, Pat Petrini.
Thanks
big
for
shout
having
out.
me on.
Yeah, man. Big shout out for coming out to Haiti. Big shout out for bringing Jason and having him fucking build that coop that's going to really help out those kids over there. Big shout out for actually helping us with some of the travel costs for the bags. That was fucking awesome. And thank you for sharing your knowledge on the subject of this right here. So anyway, pleasure. BP the Mentor. Remember, guys, if you guys have any deals that you want to do with us, send them over our way. Me and CashFlow Kris will look at anything that you guys hear. And if you guys want to partner up with us in money, have an IRA not doing anything, or getting shitty returns on wherever you're doing, or just an investor tired of doing everything yourself but still want to invest in real estate, send us a message, let us know. AZ Flip, guys. Talk to you guys later. See you guys next week. All right.